All right, good day, class. Today we'll be discussing determine the objectives and structures of various kind of reports. Okay, that is part of our fourth monthly exam, first lesson. So again, class, previously, as far as you remember, you are in a serious process in working and understanding the basic principle of writing a position paper. By this time, you will be introduced to the next topic with greater focus on determine the objective as well as the different structure of various kinds of report. In this module, you will also be walked through the general introduction to writing reports, outlining the different structure in order for you to be guided on how to produce a clearer and well-structured report anchored on research and analysis of a particular data and of issues. So I believe now you know how to make a stand. You know already what are the errors in argument. So this is interesting. But anyway, class, before we proceed, I just want to introduce you some icons that we need to use in this module. So icons are those cute little drawings on the left side of the page that call out for your attention. So I don't know if you find it cute, but for me it is. So they actually signal a particular valuable piece of information. So first, this one, remember, this icon call your attention to important information about a particular idea, something you shouldn't neglect or something that's out of the ordinary. Don't ignore this paragraph. So if you see that icon, that means important, okay? You need to remember. And the second icon is tips. What do you mean by that? All right, so this is actually a tip icons, present time saving information that makes the process of writing report effective. So this provides steps on how a particular process in writing report is being done to make it effective. So that is tips. No, anything that is important, providing you a steps, process, procedure, it's also important. So this is a icon deserved for that. Next is what we call warning. What do you mean by this icon? All right, the tip icon presents short varied tasks designed to check your extent of your understanding on the course of this module. Remember to read and follow direction carefully. So remember class is in the part of our discussion, that icon. Tips is the one to give you enhancement. To in order to understand clearly about our discussion. And this warning icon, this is simply direction or giving you a instruction, no, to make sure that you are following simple basic instruction. Okay, ganyan. All right. So in this lesson, we will be encountering this scholar. So, you know, the scholar is a specialist in a particular branch of study, like especially in the humanities, a distinguished academic. So, this is a scholar. Next one is essay. Sobrang gasgas na yan, a short piece of writing on a particular subject. And of course, hard sciences. Any of the natural or physical sciences, as chemistry, biology, physics, or astronomy, in which aspect of the universe are investigated by means of hypotheses and experiments. Then therefore, it is called hard sciences. Okay? So yesterday, I'll give you KWL, a KWL, what do you mean by that? A KWL chart. It's a graphic organizer that will help you organize information before, during, and after you have gone through the topic of this module. Hence, it has the capacity to understand your prior knowledge about the topic. So now here's what you need to do. You see that icon, warning icon. That's signal you to follow carefully the instruction. But of course, this was happened yesterday, and I just read all of your answer, and I noticed that most of you not really familiar with what is various reports. Okay, I noticed that. And I'm also focused with the W, which you want to know about this topic, which is very interesting because this is something that I need to share with you later on. Okay. And of course, after our discussion, let's see what are the learnings that you come up with this in this discussion. Okay. So again, on the first column, you put there the various kinds of reports, structures, and specific application that you already know. Okay. On the second column, you put there various kinds of reports, which is you need to know or you want to know. And lastly, of course, on that third column, you put the what you have learned. Okay. After you have gone through the different learning activities, after various kinds of reports, their structure and specific application. So let's just proceed. Okay. I just checked your I just checked your asynchronous yesterday regarding with this pretest activity, and yeah, I noticed that not all of you aware what is various reports is all about. And you know what, class, you actually encounter this. Maybe you're not familiar, but okay, let's just begin in order for you to familiarize what is the various kinds of report. Okay, so before we begin class, in this section, no, you will be understanding the basic principles of writing report in detail, including what information it contains, how that information is formatted and organized. You may begin by understanding the meaning of the word report, diba? That's the main important. That's the main goal that we have here. We have to define what is report, okay? Many scholars have defined report as any informational work made with an intention to relay information or recounting certain events in a presentable manner. Okay? These are often conveyed in writing, speech, television, or film. Moreover, considering report as an administrative necessity, hence most official form of information or work are completed via report. So, class, in order to define the report, many scholars class have actually defined report as any informational work, no, any informational work made with an intention to relay information or recounting certain events in a presentable manner. Okay, so therefore that is a report. The moment that you are presenting a report in a presentable manner, okay, that is report associated with, of course, information. Okay, so, according to this definition or the learning concept of this discussion, these are often conveyed in writing, no? Diba? Pwede siya sa paraan ng pagsusulat, or maybe in the form of speech, or maybe in the form of television or film. Okay? So note that the report is always written in a sequential manner in order of occurrence. Okay, when you are reporting, it is maybe in a chronological order, but the bottom line, it is in a sequence. Is that clear? Okay. So you have to remember, class, that a key feature of report is that it is formally structured in section. Hence, the use of section make it easy for the reader to jump straight to the information they need. Unlike an essay class, which is written in a single narrative style from start to finish, each section of a report has its own purpose and will need to be written in an appropriate style to suit. For example, the methods and results sections are mainly descriptive, whereas the discussion section needs to be analytical reports. Okay, so again, class, a key feature of a report is that it is formally what? You can actually what? There is a section of each, and each section has its own purpose. Okay? Again, class, reports communicate information which has been compiled as a result of research and analysis of a data and of issues. Please note, however, that report can cover a wide range of topics, but usually focus on transmitting information with a clear purpose to a specific audience. Diba? That's the reason why we come up with this reporting, because we have a certain audience that we have a certain target audience for our report. Okay? To a specific audience. Yan. In this sense, you can come up with your own definition of report as can be systematic, articulate, or an orderly presentation of research work in e-written form. Okay? So good reports class are documents that are accurate, objective, and complete. They should also be well written, clearly structured, and expressed in a way that holds the reader attention and meets their expectation. Remember that you may be required to write several different types of reports, so it would be better for you to understand them well. So here are the most common types of reports that you need to understand. It is well that you get to familiarize the written types of reports so you know particularly when and how to use them in the near future that your teacher or your college professor maybe would require you to write one. Okay? So malinaw na malinaw yan. Again, the guide question there or the question there is what are the different types of report writing? Tama, yan yung iniisip natin habang sinusulat natin ang KWL chart. What are its purposes? Who are its target audience? How is a particular type of report being written or being written? Okay, so let's find out. Number one example class of a various report is what we have technical and business. Okay, so when we say technical and business, this discipline with an applied focus such as engineering, information technology, commerce, accounting, and finance will set report writing assignments that simulate the process of report writing in industry. So assignments are set in the form of what? Problem or a case study. So the students research the problem and present the result of the research in a report format. Okay. The technical and business pala, it's applied to what? This engineering, information technology, commerce, accounting, and finance. And of course, their assignments are set in the form of what? Problem or a case study. All right. So clear yan. So remember class when we say technical writing is form of writing technical communication or documentation in science and technology or applied science that helps people understand a product or service. Yun ang konsepto ng technical writing. The main purpose ng technical writing class is what? To inform and to trigger the person into action such as purchasing a product or service. Yun yung magiging action niya dito, class, no? Kasi ang purpose mo nga is what? To give them an informations regarding with your product and you wanted to turn into action. So basically, they will buy for the product or service. Okay? Its purpose may also be instruct, persuade, but never to entertain. Of course, you're not going to entertain them. How can you entertain if you are introducing them a product? I mean, you're just letting them know the quality and the features of your product. Okay? So the content is factual and straightforward. So kung gagawa ka ng uh, sa paraan ng technical and business na report, of course, the technical writing format there is what? Not to entertain, but of course, giving the highlights of the features of your product and introduction of your product maybe and all quality of that, but of course not in the form of entertainment. So you need to be what? Factual and straightforward. Remember class, you are giving a report regarding with the product and it must be factual. Another class, it express informal. Okay? Dapat formal ang ating technical and business. Kasi technical and business, we're talking about technical and business. So it should be in a formal way. Standard or academic language. So the write-up assesses specialized vocabulary and follows a set of rules and conventions. So this sinasabi ko class that you cannot just talk the way that you want to talk or you write the way you talk. I mean, so you need to what? Study in order to come up with the appropriate words or appropriate construction of the sentences. Yung sinasabi nating dapat standardized. It is also organized in a sequential or systematic pattern. Dapat may system. Pag sinabi nating system, it's first come, first serve or first uh, First come first. Okay. So what else? The tone of the technical writing output is objective, and its audience is specific, uses language to evoke other, to evoke either an emotional or intellectual response from the audience or the reader. So example of technical writing are end user documentation, like user manuals, the company cellular phones, personal computers. Now, if you see in there some of the manuals, they're not entertaining, guys, or class. They're what? Giving you an instruction, giving you an idea how to use it. Okay? But nevertheless, it's not an entertainment form. And it should be in a formal way. Tapos napaka-direct pa, di ba? Next, we have what we call field reports. Okay? What do you mean by field reports? Field reports are common in disciplines such as law, industrial relations, psychology, nursing, history, and education. So these types of reports require the student to analyze his or her observation of phenomena or events in the real world in light of theory studies in the course. So the purpose of a field report in the social sciences is to describe the observation of people, places, and or events, and to analyze that observation data in order to identify. Okay, sa madaling salita, class, ang field reports pala ay ginagamit ng mga estudyante na nasa law, industrial relations, ecology, nursing, history, and education. Okay? Kasi this type of reports require the student to what? Analyze. Analyze based on what? Their observation of phenomena or events in the real world of light of theories. No? Ayan. So, ang purpose niyan, class, is what? Social is to describe the observation of people, places, and or events, and to analyze the observation data in order to identify. Again, class, categorize common themes in relation to the research problem underpinning the study. So the content represents the researcher interpretation of meaning found in data that has been gathered during one or more observational events. Okay. So remember, class, when you are doing a field reports, you are assigned with the intention of what? Improving your understanding of key theoretical concept by applying methods of careful and structured observation of and reflection about people, places, or phenomena existing in their natural settings. No? So field reports facilitate the development of data collection techniques and observation skills, and they help you to understand how theory applies to real world situation. Field reports are also an opportunity to obtain evidence through methods of observing professional practice that contribute to challenge existing theories. Remember, class, we're talking about what? We're talking about this field. Remember? Uh, Nursing, psychology, history, and educational, we gather data based on what? Observation in this manner. Okay? We're trying to observe the methodology they use, the behavior of the people, the theories, all the concept related with this type of field. Okay? These are all need a analytical skill in order to what after you gather that information you need to analyze those information, those results, based on the observation you conducted. All right, so again, class, when writing a field report, you need to what? You have a four consideration. Remember this one, this is very important. When writing a field report, you need to what? Systematically observe. Okay? Systematically observe and accurately record the varying aspect of a situation. Okay? You need to record that. And it must be in systematic way. Always approach your field study with a detailed protocol about what you will observe, where you should conduct your observations, and the method by which you will collect and record your data. Okay? Lagi nating tatandaan, class, when you are writing a field report, you need to what? Systematically, may sistema, may sinusunod ka, may paraan kang gagamitin. Okay? In order for you to check those type of observations so that you can come up with a concrete, concise, and credible report. Okay? Number two, continuously analyze your observation. Always look for the meaning underlying the actions of your observe. Okay, you have to make sure you continuously analyze each gestures or whatever observation that you find in a certain things or in a certain behavior maybe yan, okay, always look for the meaning underlying to it. So ask yourself what's going on here, okay, so ask yourself and then find the answer of your question. What does this observed activity mean? Diba? These are the guide question, class, that will lead to the answer. Tama? What else does this relate to? Note that this is an ongoing process of reflection and analysis taking place for the duration of your field research. And of course, number three, another consideration when you are writing a field report, keep the report's aim in mind while you are observing. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Keep the report's aim in mind. No? There is a goal, there is an objective, no, in your mind while you are observing. You are not just staring at them, you are not just looking at them without a purpose. You are trying to analyze his gestures or whatever you see, diba? Recording that you observe should not be done randomly or hap, haphazardly. Okay? You must be focused and pay attention to details. Enter the observation site like field with a clear plan about what you are intending to observe and record in relation to the research problem, while at the same time being prepared to adapt to change circumstances as they may arise. And lastly, consciously observe, record, and analyze what you hear and see in the context of a theoretical framework. This is what separates data gatherings from reporting. So the theoretical framework guiding your field research should determine that when and how you observe and act as the foundation from which you interpret your findings in relation to the underlying assumption embedded in the theoretical framework. Okay? So again, we will be continuously discussing this one class on Thursday. And as of the moment, I just presenting you two types of or two kinds of reports. No, so I hope you learned something today. The key, uh, the code or the keyword for today class, in order for you to access your asynchronous activity, if you watch this video, the code is creative. Again, the word is creative. So thank you for watching. I hope you learned something. Bye and thank you. God bless.